Sometimes
and
I
it
just like,
expresses the same thing. As the
yeah, exactly. I like less words.
And talents, following their passion, doing meaningful work in service to others.
Yeah, that's better. That's better.
That relate to good living.
You know, it's pretty broad, and I don't even have this defined, but if it's on a variety of areas, spirituality, I don't want to lead with spirituality, but, yeah, so I'm just stuck in this. Do I want to say that all of my guests are authors? And the answer is all my guests are authors. Most of my guests are authors who write on some area, and to be clear, like most of my guests are authors. Most of them, maybe all of them, most of my guests are non-fiction authors. Most of my guests write about subjects that relate to what it means to live a good life. They write about things like leadership.
No,
School for the Living is a vehicle that I created for myself and others to explore the answer to these questions. What does it mean to live a good life? How can we do it, and how can we help others do it? I've learned enough and experienced enough to know that there's no one-size-fits-all to living. That every one of us, as much as we're the same and we're all on the same journey, each of us gets to find our own way. What this podcast is intended to do is to help introduce you to, or go deeper with, people who have incredible life experience, who devoted themselves using the intellect. But I'm not as much.
Here's the number one rule of editing. Cut it out. 90% of the time, we're saying too much.
Doing, a large, privately held, family enterprise based in Salt Lake City, or if I just say the name, but I don't really want to do that. And even as much as I start to say that, I would say, I feel like I also should disclaim there that, the opinions I express are totally my own. Like, I really feel like I should say that, The thing that I haven't got as succinct or as clear, I feel like it's
if I honestly, and if we could tidy that up into 45 or 90 seconds and put some music to it that makes, and in these interviews, I talk to people
who have spent a lot of time asking those questions, who have arrived at some kind of powerful answer from which they live. So anyway, I think if I say more, I'm just going to make the editing job harder down, but I hope that in what I've got there and what's on the screen, that there's this kind of structure. I don't even know if it goes in this order, but what is this thing? Who am I? Why did I create it? Who's it for? And if we could tidy that up into 45 or 90 seconds and put some music to it that makes it go like, oh yeah, I want to hear this, I want to get to know this. Some way, like in some real way. I mean, I know that it's, like, I was going to say some real way, like I hope that people would come across a thinker or an idea because of this podcast, or because of the School for the Living, that could change their whole life or change the trajectory of their life. And the other thing that I feel like I haven't recorded in what everything we've captured so far is this idea about, I don't think I made this clear enough, I didn't even necessarily attempt it, is earning $40,000 or $50,000 or $60,000 a year to think if I had a bigger house, if I had a newer BMW, this intro. It's like I learned that it wasn't accomplishments or acquisitions. I learned that it's
easy when you're earning $40,000 or $50,000 or $60,000 a year to think if I had a bigger house, if I had a newer BMW, if I just took better vacations, then I would be happy.
I don't think anyone wants BMWs anymore. Is that a thing people want?
Definitely not me. I just want to be able to afford a place to live at this point.
You're like, I want to not live in a cardboard box.
Yep,
and then you get to that point and you're like, shit, it wasn't that. Now what is it? And then it's just, and then it was
like, for me, and I kind of wish I had this little progression. Like, it's almost like Ernest Hemingway's A Story in 6 Words. I feel like I could tell a whole story in a sentence. And maybe there's an attempt worth trying in this intro. It's like,
money
I
shot.
learned that it wasn't accomplishments or acquisitions. I learned that it's not even knowledge. I went and I learned from some of what I could find the best, or I sought out the best teachers and coaches that I could find and learn from personally, traveling around the world. And after years of that, learned it's not even knowledge. But what is it that can help us live a more fulfilling life? And I think I'm at a point right now where I think if we can continue to expand our awareness and we can deepen our experience, moment to moment, touching the aliveness that life is, that's where the richness and the juice comes in life. It's not through anything material. It's not even through anything we would do. It's no box we would check. And so what I'm hopeful for is that this podcast will help those who are in that existential mire, and also those who are on that treadmill, thinking more of something later will finally bring me happiness, and going, that's like, let me help you. And not that I have it all figured out, but there's some of the things I've been learning, and this podcast is one way I continue to endeavor to learn from some pretty smart people on a variety of topics and to share what I learn with others.
And so
you almost had it in there.
But what is it that can help us live a more fulfilling life? And I think I'm at a point right now where I think if we can continue to expand our awareness and we can deepen our experience, moment to moment, touching the aliveness that life is, that's where the richness and the juice comes in life. It's not through anything material.
All right. I think I can create something here. We're in the hunt.
If we can continue to expand our awareness and we can deepen our experience, moment to moment, touching the aliveness that life is, that's where the richness and the juice comes in.
No juice.
Where the richness
no juice
and the juice.
I do not want the juice.
Get the juice out
juice
of here.
Is gone.
The aliveness that life is. That's where the richness
and the juice
comes in life.
Yep, that's what we want. Burp. Let's bring you right in here.
No
that's
juice
where
allowed.
The richness comes in life. It's
exactly what I was thinking.
Touching the aliveness.
Well, sometimes when you're talking and you're recording, you say things that in retrospect are not the right things to say.
Yep.
Or don't fit. So
that life is. That's where the richness comes in life. It's not through anything material.
I need to take out the again.
Comes in life. It's again, and it's not. Comes in life. It's not through anything. Comes in life. It's comes in life. It comes in life. It's not. Comes in life. It's not through.
I think sometimes you'll have two words that are the same. You've got them on this end and that end, and you got to decide which one sounds better.
Comes in life.
So I think I like this. It's not better.
Comes in life. It's not through any.
Well, so I got an it. This it's
comes
better.
In life. It's not.
So he comes over. I got to get the not in there.
Not through.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Comes in life. It's not through any.
Oh, that's smooth.
Anything material. Where the richness comes in life. It's not through anything.
Actually, a little hesitant.
Comes in life. It's not.
Again.
There's just a little beat that I need to nudge it up a little further.
Comes in life. It's not through any.
A little stub. There we go. And a lot of it is also visual. I mean, if it doesn't look smooth visually, it's not going to sound right.
Richness comes in life. It's not through anything material. It's not even through anything we would do. It's no box we would check. And so what I'm hopeful for is that this podcast will help those who are in that existential mire, and also those who are on that treadmill thinking more of something later will finally bring me happiness, and going, that's like, let me help you. And not that I have it all figured out, but there's some of the things that I've been learning, and this podcast is one way I continue to endeavor to learn from some pretty smart people on a variety of topics and to share what I learn with others.
That's probably a better finish right there.
This podcast is one way I continue to endeavor to learn from some pretty smart people on a variety of topics and to share what I learn with others.
Yeah, that's good.
It's pretty good. I don't know if I need this part.
If we can continue to expand our awareness and we can deepen our experience, moment to moment, touching the alive.
I think that's too flowery.
This podcast is one way I can.
Not really necessary.
No, we got to get to the point.
We don't have room for another metaphor in here.
No. In an intro, it needs to happen. I think you can get deeper on those things, but as an intro, it's setting your brand, but quickly. You're not giving a dissertation.
Doing meaningful work in service to others. This podcast is one way I continue to endeavor to learn from some pretty smart people on a variety of topics and to share. To endeavor to learn.
I'm going to take out this podcast.
This podcast is one way I continue to endeavor to learn from some. This is one way
I wonder if I can just take the I continue. So it's over here.
Following their passion, doing meaningful work in service to others. One way I continue to endeavor to learn from some pretty smart people on a variety of topics and to share what I learn with others.
I don't know.
Does he say school for good living at any point?
He does. Well, that's a good question. Let's see where we are.
My name is Brilliant Miller. I'm the youngest son of self-made billionaire entrepreneur parents. I think it's because of my wealth and my opportunity that I realized nothing we'll ever accomplish or acquire will bring us lasting satisfaction. I created this podcast and the School for Good Living as a way of exploring the answers to three questions. What does it mean to live a good life? How can we do it? And how can we help others do it? Each of my guests uses their strengths, gifts, and talents, following their passion, doing meaningful work in service to others. The way I continue to endeavor to learn from some pretty smart people on a variety of topics and to share what I learn with others.
I like that less now. I don't know. I need a finisher.
How should I live? You know, and in these interviews,
Close to the edge of that all the time. Other people just touch it occasionally. They'll touch it sometimes. But some people live, I think, in this kind of really, I don't want to say existential fog, but it's like an existential mire. And life is hard. Life is hard. Earning $40,000, $50,000, or $60,000 a year to think, if I had a bigger house, if I had a newer. And in some way, like in some real way, I mean, I know that it's, like, I was gonna say, in a way, like, I hope that people would come across a thinker or an idea because of this podcast, because of the School for Good Living, that could change their whole life or change the trajectory of their life. You know, and the other thing that I feel like I haven't recorded in what everything we've captured so far is this idea about, I don't think I made this clear enough, I didn't even necessarily attempt it, is, you know, people are at different degrees of that too, when they are there. Some people live really close to the edge of that all the time, and other people just touch it occasionally, we all touch it sometimes. But some people live, I think, in this kind of really, I don't want to say existential fog, but it's like an existential mire. And, you know, life is hard. Life is hard, it's painful, it's confusing, it's difficult. And in some way, like in some real way, I mean, I know that it's, like, I was gonna say, in some way, like, I hope that people would come across a thinker or an idea because of this.
There's something here.
And, you know, life is hard. Life is hard. It's painful. It's confusing. It's difficult. And in some way, like in some real way.
How you doing, Taylor?
I'm pretty good. I'm not sure. I think, like, it would be great if you had a line that was just like, welcome to the School for Good Living.
Well, I do have that from something else. So from his earlier one, so I could grab that. That's a good point.
Life is hard. Help others do it. Each of my guests uses their strengths, gifts, and talents, following their passion, doing meaningful work in service to others. Life is hard. It's
Welcome to the School for Good Living. If he just said that right there.
I mean, ideally, it would be like, they will be your teachers in the School for Good Living.
uses their
But we
strengths, gifts, and
can't
talents,
write dialogue.
following their passion, doing meaningful work in service to others.
Welcome to the School for Good Living.
Yeah.
You're right. Maybe a little bit more about them, but it's finding what is he.
What I haven't done is I haven't said, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a philanthropist. That's who I am. I've talked about, I've been with my wealth ability here. But to learn from, know if I want to talk about my person and coaches and thinkers around the world. And then do I want to say names? I don't know that I want to say that I do or don't. It may be fact that I ask my guests. My first question is always, what's life? I believe that life is about knowledge, relationships, and experiences, because those things become who we are. And unlike things in the physical world, the more we share those things, the more we have. And if there's anything that we can take with us when we leave this life, I believe perhaps it is only those things. Knowledge, relationships, and experience become us.
Stupid.
This
dogs.
podcast is one way for me to cultivate knowledge, relationships, and experiences, and to share. I've talked a little bit about who my guests are. Each of my guests, see, I don't have this down either because I interview the top performers, and I've already tried to say that my guests, doing work they love. What I didn't say, I might use this word instead of a life. These interviews are a way that I indulge my curiosity. I created this podcast because I know that every one of us is looking for a better way to live. I also know that each of us gets lost or stuck at some times in some areas of our lives. I know that life really is a journey from birth to death, from ignorance to wisdom. These conversations are intended to provide you with information and inspiration to help you live your best life, to help you make the contribution you were born to make.
There we go. That was it.
That
was it.
We found it.
I'm going to color code you purple.
It is done.
It is done, and now you're coming with me. You're coming over here to this position. Wait, I lost myself. Where are you? Okay. You can do a placeholder. Like if you click up top here, nothing happens. You click down here, boom, there's my line. And as I zoom in, it kind of sets my anchor point. And then if I paste, it comes off of that.
Okay. I do have a question. How often do you talk to your bits of audio like you're having a conversation?
Oh, if I'm not streaming?
Yes.
It's exactly the same. It's
Great.
exactly the same. I'm like, no.
Happy to hear it.
Yeah, I do. Let's see. Okay, here we go.
Meaningful work in service to others. These conversations are intended to provide
that's a
you
better intro.
with information and inspiration to help you live your best life, to help you make the contribution
Okay,
you
now
were
it's
born
got to
to
fit
make
in. Can we cram
in
it in?
service to others. These conversations are intended to provide you with information and inspiration to help you live your best life, to help
Don't
you
need that.
make the contribution you were born to make.
Okay. So,
Make the contribution you were born to make. To help you make the contribution you were born to make.
all right.
These conversations are intended to provide you with information in service to others. These conversations are intended to provide you with information and inspiration to help you make the contribution you were born to make.
All right. So the idea is we've got all the components. How do we jam them? You've got space over here you can eat up. To me, there's a lot of space, even over here.
My name is Brilliant Miller. I'm the youngest son of
I don't want to mess with
self-made
that.
billionaire entrepreneur parents. I think it's because of my wealth and my opportunity that I realized nothing we'll ever accomplish or acquire will bring us lasting satisfaction. I created this podcast and the School for Good Living as a way of
Okay, don't need that right there. That one, that breath can be out.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessary.
created this podcast and the School for Good Living as a way of exploring the answers to 3 questions. What does it
Okay, that one can come tighter. So I'm coming down low. Do you see that? So I can select down here. So if I click, hold, and drag, that's the selection. And then I delete, then I pop up, Command F, grab all the others, and just kind of drag them over.
Cool.
way of exploring the answers to 3 questions. What does it mean to live a good life? How can we do it?
We're going to get a little tighter.
What does it mean to live a good life? How can we do it? And how can
A little tighter.
it mean to live a good life? How can we do it? And how can we help others do it? Each of my guests uses their strengths, gifts, and talents, following their passion, doing meaningful work in service to others. These conversations are intended to provide you with information and inspiration to help you make the contribution you were born to make.
Where did my echo go? Oh, I kept moving everything around.
Oh, no.
All right. So sometimes you lose track of things.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, yeah, whatever, old man.
No, whenever I say I'm trying to indicate that I'm listening.
Oh, everyone, she's listening.
You make the contribution you were born to make. Contribution you were born to make.
I don't really like that.
You were born to make.
Needs something to. It needs more sustain. It needs to go longer.
Yeah.
Let's add another one. Not delay, distortion. Well, I think it goes back to reverb and just picking another one. Let's go inverb.
Make the contribution you were born to make. Make the contribution you were born to make.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
As an ending?
No.
To help you make the contribution you were born to make.
I may just fade it. I may do what I said I wouldn't do. But sometimes it's like finding what's right for that set.
To help you make the contribution you were born to make.
But I'm going to get a little more aggressive with it. Sometimes you have to add a fade, and then you have to kind of manually do a closer.
Contribution you were born to make.
All right, so then it would go in. Let's see. Okay, so here we go.
My name is Brilliant Miller. I'm the youngest son of self-made
How's
billionaire
the volume on that
entrepreneur
music?
parents. I think it's because of my wealth and my
It's a little
opportunity
quiet
that I
on my end.
realized
I don't know if
nothing
that's
will ever
just-
No, that's good feedback. Because if you're on your phone, I mean, that's the way people. So the music feels out of proportion with the hymn.
Yeah, it's a little hard to hear. I think only bring it up a touch, though.
Okay, let's see how this one sounds.
My name is Brilliant Miller. I'm the youngest son of self-made billionaire entrepreneur parents. I think it's because of
Too loud?
No, that feels better. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna come down a little.
my wealth and my opportunity that I realized nothing we'll ever accomplish or acquire will bring us lasting satisfaction. I created this podcast and the School for Good Living as a way of exploring the answers to 3 questions. What does it mean to live a good life? How can we do it? And how can we help others do it?
Actually, I want a little more pause in between that one.
Honestly, I would go a little louder. There's a lot of like higher sort of beats.
On the music louder?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's still getting a little bit lost.
Okay. All right. Good feedback. Let's see. Here we go.
Each of my guests uses their strengths, gifts, and talents, following their passion, doing meaningful work in service to others. These conversations are intended to provide
That could come down though, because then
Yeah, for sure.
then it kicks into turbo.
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
doing meaningful work in service to others. These conversations are intended to provide you with information and inspiration to help you make the contribution you were born to make.
I may drag this out a little longer because I think when I transition into what's going on, there will be a next thing. I can always overlap to this fade out.
Make the contribution you were born to make. Make the contribution you were born to make.
All right. One more time,
Sounds good.
everyone. Somebody wants to throw a comment in. I think I screwed up. I can't see the comments like there were. It seems like it restarted or something. Anyway, here we go.
My name is Brilliant Miller. I'm the youngest son of self-made billionaire entrepreneur parents. I think it's because of my wealth and my opportunity that I realized nothing we'll ever accomplish or acquire will bring us lasting satisfaction. I created this podcast and the School for Good Living as a way of exploring the answers to 3 questions. What does it mean to live a good life? How can we do it? And how can we help others do it? Each of my guests uses their strengths, gifts, and talents, following their passion, doing meaningful work in service to others. These conversations are intended to provide you with information.
I think that's too quick. I need a little break in between that. Too quick.
Yeah, just a little bit of pause.
Their strengths, gifts, and talents, following their passion, doing meaningful work in service to others. These conversations are
Also, he's a little low there. I mean, it's pretty obvious if you look at these. I have a tool. It's called Vocal Writer. What this one does, I don't know if you can see that one.
I can.
Okay, Vocal Writer, what it does is it basically keeps the noise level at the same height. So it goes through the track, and if somebody's speaking low, it jacks it up to be a little more even. So when you watch this,
created this podcast.
you can see
and the
that
School for Good
fader
Living as a way
moving.
of exploring the answers to 3
So
questions.
it's coming up on
What does it
some,
mean to
going
live a
down
good
on
life?
others.
How can we do it?
Mm-hmm.
And how can we help others do it? Each of my guests uses
But
their
it's not
strengths, gifts, and
compensating enough
talents,
for this.
following their passion, doing meaningful work in service to others. These conversations
Yep, too low. Too low. So I come in here. I got to add the track. Okay. So I'm going to bring it here. When are you guys going to Florida?
We're trying for the 28th. But
Right.
there's a lot to do. We might not make that day.
Remind me to give you Victoria's number and address in case you ever need anything. Because
Oh yeah, she's down there, isn't she?
she's in Orlando, which isn't right where
Okay.
you are, but she's at least closer than I am.
That's fair. I
Okay.
appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, here we go.
Full work in service to others. These conversations
Still more. Must go higher, Carlos. Too much?
meaningful work in service to others. These conversations are
Still not. Look at can you see these graphs down here? People on the stream can see it a little better, but
work in service to
I'm
others.
hitting red here.
These conversations are intended to provide you with
Oh, sorry.
following their passion, doing meaningful work in service to others. These conversations are
Ooh, almost there. Almost there.
Mm-hmm.
intended to provide you with information. Guest uses their strengths, gifts, and talents, following their passion, doing meaningful work in service to others. These conversations are intended to provide you with information and inspiration to help you make the contribution you were born to make.
I wonder if a pause right here would be good.
With information and inspiration to help you
Too much?
and inspiration to help you make the contribution you were born to make.
Almost want to crank that up. Finish off strong.
Each of my guests uses their in service to others. These conversations are intended to provide you with information and inspiration to help you make the contribution you were born to make.
I don't think we got the K in there. Did I cut that too much?
You might have.
Oh, see that? Look at that. See that little trailing K right there? Boom. That's what I missed.
You were born to make.
Yep. You got to watch for those.
And inspiration to help you make the contribution you were born to make.
All right, I think we're good. One more time from the top. This is it.
My name is Brilliant Miller. I'm the youngest son of self-made billionaire entrepreneur parents. I think it's because of my wealth and my opportunity that I realized nothing we'll ever accomplish or acquire will bring us lasting satisfaction. I created this podcast and the School for Good Living as a way of exploring the answers to 3 questions. What does it mean to live a good life? How can we do it? And how can we help others do it? Each of my guests uses their strengths, gifts, and talents, following their passion, doing meaningful work in service to others. These conversations are intended to provide you with information and inspiration to help you make the contribution you were born to make.
I don't know if you still see my camera, but I was jamming out.
Oh, good. That's important. What do you think? Thoughts?
Pretty good. How long was it?
Oh, good question. Let's see where we're at. Okay, with the fade, it ends up 46 seconds.
Second over.
Text, it's at 41 seconds. Well, shoot, we can make that tighter. Let's go to 45 flat. Okay, then that's right there.
My name is Brilliant. My name is make the contribution you were born to make. My name is Brilliant Miller. I'm the youngest son of self-made billionaire entrepreneur parents. I think it's because of my wealth and my opportunity that I realized nothing we'll ever accomplish or acquire will bring us lasting satisfaction. I created this podcast and the School for Good Living as a way of exploring the answers to 3 questions. What does it mean to live a good life? How can we do it? And how can we help others do it? Each of my guests uses their strengths, gifts, and talents, following their passion, doing meaningful work in service to others. These conversations are intended to provide you with information and inspiration to help you make the contribution you were born to make.
All right, I'm done.
Yeah, that looks good.
All right, so here's the other thing I do. Usually I wait to send something until I sit on it for the night.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do is I select all of these. To select something, so if you're low in the track, like right here, and you select, it's just going to It's not selecting the whole clip. If I just was to hit delete, it would cut right where that white is.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to select these chunks, you got to go higher than halfway.
Mm.
Then the way that you export in Logic is it's called a bounce.
Okay.
So I Command B, that bounces it. I'm just going to do this as an MP3. There's a bunch of settings, but I can walk you through those and set up some defaults. And we'll just call this Brilliant Intro version 1. Save that out. And then I can send that to him.
Even after this is most likely going to be accepted as like the new intro, do you keep the original editing file with all the audio that you worked with?
Yes. So this is saved as a session. Basically, I can show you how it's set up, but it's set up as a folder which keeps all the data and audio files in one location.
Mm-hmm.
And so I save it as this version 1. When he gives me, he says, okay, let's change this or that, I come in and I save a new version. And I save that new version. I don't resave over because I always want to go back. What if you get 5 versions down the line and the client says, you know what? Come to think of it, I love the first one, except for with some slight changes. So I always, when I send something, I save it as a version.
Sure. That makes sense.
So yeah, it'll open up exactly as you see it here.
And how much money do you spend on hard drives?
On this one over here, I think I spent $1,800.
Oof.
On that one. Yeah.
You got an expensive practice there.
When you add it all up, it's a decent amount of money. This monitor was like $1,300. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's mixer and
I'm
equipment.
lucky to have a nerd dad like you who's willing to buy all this stuff because I do not have the money.
Oh, no, you do not. Yeah, I was thinking, no, we can get you set up, and I think it's worthwhile. But yeah, you have Logic on your laptop, right?
I'll have to double check that.
Double check it. What we basically have to do is get the same settings and same plugins on it so that you can do the same things.
Yeah.
So, let's see. I'm going to send this to Brilliant anyway, even though I said wait until the morning. I'm just going to find the file. I always like to just text these to people.
Is the quality preserved okay over text?
Yeah, it is actually. Well, what I'll do, I'll send this to you too. So here, I'll send it to you first, and you can tell me what you think of it.
My name is Brilliant.
Okay, all right. Sending it to you. And then, oh man, Brilliant. Here it goes.
Let's see. Let's see if you can hear this.
Don't hear anything.
It's pretty quiet on my end. I'll tell you what, it's better audio than I've been getting over the Zoom call.
Oh, is it? You're hearing it a lot better?
Not a lot better, a little better.
It's tough. Yeah, it's not set up for audio. So if we were to do this in the future, though, I would connect you through IPDTL because it doesn't do any.
Ooh, I love that totally not suspicious name. That sounds like a program that definitely
Oh
won't.
my gosh, it's the
Fail.
worst. Well, it's a site made by engineers. You absolutely know it's made by engineers because nobody in marketing is like, hey, that's a great idea. Let's call it IPDTL.
No, that's a bunch of people just going like, we need a functional name for this, I guess.
Right. But it's an awesome tool. So next time we do it, you'll just need headphones though on it because it doesn't do any processing, but you'll be able to hear it as if you're in the room.
Nice. Do earbuds work? I
Yes.
super don't like headphones.
Yeah,
Great.
earbuds work. Yep.
Cool. So what next? You have to keep
All right.
energy-
I sent it to him and then I'll hear back. Probably but yeah, I'm tired.
That's fair.
Isn't it funny? 45 seconds, 2 hours to get there.
It just expands. Not to mention the time spent recording it.
Oh, yeah. It takes time. It takes time to do stuff. So, anywho. Well, everyone, you sons of bees out there, because I don't swear, do I, Taylor? Do not.
Not in front of me.
That's right. Doesn't happen. Swearing's
Oh, I
for the
can't wait.
uncultured.
I can't wait to watch one of your streams and see you swear and then come in the chat and be like,
Never.
Father.
Never. All right, all you sons of... Let's see, what did they say on Johnny Dangerously? That's where I learned to swear nicely.
You're too old. I don't know.
Sons of bastages. You dirty bastage. That's how they said it. Dirty bastage.
Bitch.
Yep.
Why don't you just say bastard?
Because, Taylor, don't hurt my ears. All right, see you guys later. Have a great night.